hear the music coming through the speakers of the headphones that are lying on the floor right now. We made it back. It's Thursday. We're here for Minot Talk. I'm, as always, Kyler Collom. Jonathan, if you guys are concerned, he will be back next Tuesday, so don't worry. I don't have to run the show by myself anymore. I am joined today, however, by Cole Krueger. And Cole, you are a busy guy around town.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
You work for MSU. You have a lot to do with the grain silo project going on right now. And obviously there's a big event coming up in about a week here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course.
You know, the funny thing is the busiest part of my life is for sure being a dad to 3 tiny kids right now.
That's fair.
But yeah, work is a distraction in a
That
sense.
just
It's the easy part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you get home and you got the 3 little ones you got to deal with at that point.
It is, yeah. And you can probably tell I'm not a strong guy, and they're getting bigger. The wrestling matches are getting closer. Still undefeated.
Of course.
It's
But
getting
there will be a day.
There will be a day. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to have mom tag in. We'll
Exactly. The
go
tag
2 on
team.
3.
Exactly. UFC style, or no, WWE style.
Yes.
Yeah. Go tag team on them. It'll be great. Next week, actually, before we get into the Silobration, we'll talk about it more as a whole.
Okay.
Beginning in this spring, it was announced that there was a big project, an art project that was going to be taking place here in Minot with artist Guido von Helten. And he is from Australia, and he is a world-renowned artist at this point. He has done things all over the world, and he's even done stuff locally in the States. He's just done stuff in Mankato, Minnesota. That's probably the closest one, and I think he did one in Calgary, up in Alberta as well. And he is working on the Monuments projects. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
I would love to. Thank you. Yeah, so this actually started a long time ago in terms of Minot's interest in getting this project. Credit to Tim Bauman, Chelsea Gleich. They've been working hard behind the scenes for a long time. In fact, on a cold, windy day in October of 2022,
What's new?
we went live from the Union Silos Facebook page with the press conference that zero media attended. We still went live, and we still held the press conference, and we announced we're going to start fundraising. We're going to start a campaign to bring this to Minot. And yes, it was inspired by the Mankato Monument project that Tim Bauman drove by and said,
What is that?
I wonder if is that possible in Minot? And that's one thing that's great about him and so many people in this community. We have dreamers here. Yeah. But dreamers who can do things is different. And Tim's one of those people.
100%.
So yeah, Faulkton, South Dakota has one, as well as Fort Dodge, Iowa, as well as Nashville, Tennessee. And this project is huge. It's going to make Minot the owner of the largest mural in all of North Dakota.
In the state.
Yeah. So another thing that puts us on the map, and one thing that we've been presenting, since October of 2022 to anyone who will listen, please invite us to your meeting. We're happy to sit down and fill you in. But everyone we talk about, we try to say, dream, think about this. When you think about seeing, a senior photo, where are they standing? And oftentimes they're in front of the Trestle Valley.
Sure.
Or they're in front of the Stav Church.
Yep.
Or they schedule it during the fair at dusk, and they go
before the Discovery Center, it was up on the point there.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Some scenic looking point. And we know already this monument, Union Silos, has earned its place among those as something that will be in probably every Visit Minot guide. And it'll be one of the first images that pops up when you Google Minot, North Dakota. And that was really the goal. It's inspired by our local culture too. That's something that I want everyone to be aware of, is this artist spent all of last year. He was in Minot. He was attending events. He
went all over the state pretty much.
He was everywhere. I mean, and that was the cool thing too. The community said, I know someone who's a farmer who it'd be cool if he could go with them and see what it's like. So he goes with the farmer. He goes with the rancher. And if you go look right now at Union Silos, you'll find out, he definitely went out with a local farmer, a local rancher, because you can see them depicted on the structure. Did the same thing with the Huss Fest. He ended up in Velva one day, in the home of a little old lady who had Scandinavian heritage.
Sure.
And think about what that meant to her, to have this Australian artist wanting to know more about her heritage. So fast forward to, what you said, May 2025, and the project begins. And he paints the first brush stroke. And here we are now, late August, and it's really taking shape.
Exactly. You were really able to see what it's turning into now at this point. I remember, I'll be honest, thinking when we had Tim on earlier this spring, and I was thinking I couldn't see how this was going to turn in. The silos were going to turn into a big mural. I'd seen the pictures in Minnesota and Texas and everything, but I was hesitant to see how it was going to take shape. And now you drive around town, and you notice how much those silos stick out at so many different points in town. Like you're over on the east side of town on Railway Avenue. Guess what? You can see those silos still. And now they're big and white and they're starting to see a picture take shape on them.
Absolutely.
And it's really incredible how much it's taken a new direction in Minot. And I really am excited to see when it's finished, all the different places people take pictures of it from.
I think every angle.
Yeah.
And that was the point, right?
Yeah. It's 360 degrees.
This is the thing that, this artist, this is his life's work. He spends years on these projects. So he wants it to be perfect too. And in the planning process early this spring, we were able to see a sneak peek of his vision for how this would come together. And just to see the technical component, like, yes, he's an artist, but we should also appreciate his technical abilities, like his computer knowledge, his logistics, all that stuff. His ability to fly the drone and then map it out was like overwhelming.
I can
imagine. This guy's a pro. And then now you see him rappelling down and painting. He's an athlete too.
I couldn't do that. Heights are not my thing.
Yeah. And you can see him just, he's not holding on to anything except the brush, and he's looking at it,
it's incredible.
We're getting what we hoped we would get. And that's the fun part. The vision that we've been promising, that we've been telling people this can happen, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I will say though, since you have me on, we still need some help.
Sure.
This project is a $350,000 project. We've fundraised already over $300,000 of it. And anyone who's willing to give any support, we're so grateful. You can donate at ndunionsilos.com.
That was going to be my next question. Where's the best place to find out where to donate at?
Yeah, so the website is the best place. Okay. Plus, you can learn more. Plus, you can learn about the artist, see a bunch of his other work. I mean, this guy has done so many cool projects. None as cool as this, but so many cool projects that you should, worth your time to check out.
Yeah, no, for a fact. And I've been on the site. I've seen it. It's a great, also on top of that, your guys' social media team has been killing it this summer. Like the updates they're doing on whether it's Instagram, Facebook, some of those posts are just phenomenal. Yeah. Like to see, also not just to see the progress of it, but just the creativity that comes out of them. I love watching them, especially on Instagram. When you guys post new updates, I love to see that every time they come through. Derek Hackett? Yep.
I hate giving him credit. Don't want it to go to his head. But yes, that's him.
He does a great job with that. He's
always been a super creative and talented person, and we're lucky to have him running that.
Oh, exactly. And I can knock on wood, he keeps it up. But I would say for a fact, it's been a great show so far.
Thank you. Yeah.
And now next week, it's a week from today. In fact, we have a big show, or actually a week from tomorrow. Yep. Next Friday. We're still on Thursday. You guys have a big event coming up, and it's the Silobration event.
The Silobration.
Yes.
Next Friday. The premier event of the summer.
Yes.
So
in Citizens Alley.
The premier event space.
Exactly. For Minot right now.
The timing is perfect, right? Citizens Alley comes together as the project comes together. And Silobration was something Chelsea Gleick, one of the community builders. Again, everyone doing this, we're all volunteers in the project. Everything you donate is going directly to making this come to life. But Chelsea saw a way to say, I know how to provide value to my employer, Town and Country Credit Union. So they're sponsoring a large percentage of the project plus this event for the next 3 years. That means, it's pretty cool.
That means this is coming back then.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. This event will definitely be back next year and at least the year after that. And hopefully it's just an
annual thing.
Correct. So here's some cool parts of the event.
Yeah.
1, live music from the Chloe Ray Band. Chloe Ray is a Minot native.
Yep.
She just performed at WeFest. Ooh. She has 4 originals, but then she's going to sing covers. What's your favorite song?
I'm a rock guy. I'm a Bon Jovi guy.
Bon Jovi? Okay, what's your favorite Bon Jovi song?
Wanted, Dead or Alive, or Living on a... She's
playing that.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Oh, God.
Maybe I can ask her too. But no, live music from 7:30 to 10:30. We want everyone to know it's free.
Yep.
All ages are welcome. The Yoda Best food truck will be there. So if you want to have some snacks, you want to order a drink, whatever you can. We're going to have a meat raffle. But then earlier in the week, starting tomorrow, in any Town and Country location, you can pick up a scavenger hunt sheet.
Ooh.
And this, in a 3 to 4 block radius, you'll be able to go see so many works of art that have come together downtown in the last decade or so.
Sure.
And this is a way to celebrate not just the largest mural in all of North Dakota, Union Silos. This is a way to celebrate all the local art that's happening in downtown Minot. We have a magical downtown. We really do.
I like what you did there.
And this is a cool way to celebrate it. Scavenger hunt, once you turn that in at the event, you can win a $250 pair of sunglasses.
Ooh.
So it's...
New pair
that
of
sponsorship.
shades.
Thank you, Town and Country, for making this free event for our community.
Yeah, great event. And I really like what you said with the downtown aspect of it, because the really nice thing about Citizens Alley is where it's located in downtown Minot. It is where you're at there. You're able to go to so many places within walking distance downtown. You can, Main Street's a couple blocks away. You can go all the way up and down Central Avenue right there. You can go from Ebenezer's all the way down to Main Street. It's everything is right there. The spot, Arnie's, everything you could really want.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a great view of the grain silos.
Thanks for mentioning that. You're right. Yeah. No, it's the perfect, again, just the perfect timing. And let's not take this for granted. You know, sometimes we get really frustrated in this town, and it's fair to be frustrated. It's fair to want better. But let's not forget what just happened downtown with Citizens Alley. Yeah. That is a massive win for Minot.
Oh, it is.
It is a space that it feels like every day I see a new post, something's happening downtown.
Yep.
That you got to be a part of, that you should want to be a part of. So if this event can help bring more people for the first time to Citizens Alley, I think that's also a win.
100%. And it's really exciting because of what Citizens Alley is going to be able to do in the wintertime too. It's going to be a year-round space, which is something I think can really be beneficial to downtown Minot.
Yes, absolutely.
And with the grain silos as well, I mean, obviously that's a year-round thing. You're always going to be able to see them. But is there a date or a rough date for the final completion of it?
We don't give a rough date for the final completion because we don't want to force our artist hand.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's been very particular about that.
Yep.
As an artist, he wants it to be done when he's done.
Yep.
And so if he doesn't like how something's coming together and he wants to make an adjustment, we're not going to be like, no, don't do it right. Do it fast. And art is never done best when it's done rushed. No. So no, there's no, I mean, certainly we hope, soon. Fair. But if you go look at it right now, it's made massive progress.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's getting close.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I can't give you a specific date.
No, that's fair. And I think even to be fair, I think it said like late fall was the expected completion time. And we're still as we felt yesterday, we're still in the heat of summer right now.
Yesterday was strange.
It was, oh gosh, that was a mess yesterday.
It's a weird day.
I coach junior high football, and it was not the most convenient day for football practice yesterday. I can say that for fact.
Yeah, running plays all
it was walkthrough, kept it abbreviated. No one's going too hard. It was not fun to be outside yesterday.
Are you coaching in Surrey?
Yeah. Yep. Nice. Out at Surrey.
Back at the alma mater.
Oh, you betcha. Yeah. The old high school grad. Obviously a few weeks back, they had some fun situations going on out there. And that was right at the time I saw they were posting in need of some more coaching help. So I figured I'd reach out, see how it went. And
way to step up.
I've always wanted to coach. So it was the perfect opportunity.
Nice. And what makes you different as a coach? Why are you going to succeed?
Why am I? Because I love football. And
you're like the John Madden of Surrey High School.
You betcha.
Football.
That's what I'm going with. Never coached prior, so it's a big learning experience for me, especially having like 2 weeks heads up going into the whole thing. Awesome. But it's been fun. Our first game
on Monday. Segment to the show where you give an update on how it's going.
Kyler's coaching corner.
You've already thought about this. Clearly.
I got those ready to roll just in the back of my mind in case anything comes up. Like Collom's Collom, if you've ever seen a couple of things I've written. Yeah, I had to throw that one out there.
Get the pun gun ready?
Exactly. That's my key. Oh, I got dad jokes ready to roll. Perfect. But no, moving on off of that, speaking of school, MSU is just starting up too.
We are.
You guys are, was it yesterday or 2 days ago was the move-in date? Tomorrow's move-in date.
Correct.
Okay.
Although it feels like today is actually the last formal registration date.
Sure. Okay.
So we have a large group of students coming today who will get registered for their classes to start tomorrow. A lot of these students would be the out-of-state students who this is the most convenient time for them to register for classes
right
as well.
As they get here.
Yeah. And then tomorrow is the formal move-in day, and that's so fun. Like we get so many of our staff there, and we help. I help carry. If I see it's like a smaller item, that's perfect. There's no risk that I'm going to drop it.
If it's that like the 2-person couch thing, they got that one.
I got the door.
Yeah. You'll gladly be the doorman at that point.
I can press the elevator button.
What floor are you going to?
Yes, absolutely. So we all have our strengths. Is what we learn. And then throughout the next week and a half, actually with homecoming just 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
It's going to be just a massive rush. So if you don't follow us on Facebook or Instagram, follow Minot State University. See all the fun that's going on. And there's so much that isn't just for our students. It's for the community. And so, yeah.
And Minot State has a great social media team as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see those guys posting stuff all the time, whether it be like the MSU Life kids that are out there doing stuff, or even on top of that, you guys have is it a weekly TV program that goes live on YouTube, live on Channel 19 as well?
Okay, yeah, that's a student-led channel,
yep,
KMSU channel.
KMSU, that's it, yeah.
That's our professional communication broadcasting
Exactly.
students, and they lead that on their own. It's the perfect experience for them to hopefully learn how to do what you do someday. That's kind of their goal, is they want to be able to provide value like you do, leading interviews and all that. That's what that is. But yeah, thank you for giving me an opportunity to shout out my boy, Rick Height. Rick Height works in our marketing office, and he is, a 15-year Minot State employee. Yep. He was hired, this is funny, he was hired in 2008.
Okay.
To try out 1-year contract to try out this Facebook thing.
Sure.
Maybe there's value in
see
Facebook
what happens
for the
with
university.
Like MySpace is dead. This new thing, it's called Facebook. It's kind of popping up a little bit.
We'll see about it. And then here we are 15 years later, and like every other day we're like, how about Threads? How about Snapchat? How about and just every single new platform possible?
X, Blue Sky, you name it, he's got it at this point.
He's got it. Yeah.
No, I love that though. It's really fun to watch how that's grown over the years, especially, just social media in general. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. 17 years ago, we took a chance. Maybe it'll be a real thing. And now it's the main thing. It's and where he spends the most of his time.
Like in Minot, I think the point where that stuff really took off was around like flood time. You saw so much communication going through, I know Facebook specifically for the flood and everything. I remember whether it be KX News at that point and everything they were doing to cover it, or just everyone having to post on there and share information. I think that's where a lot of that community development really started at that point.
For sure. Fastest, easiest way to get the word out. It's the most seamless way to get a notification that someone's live, like we are.
Exactly. Here we are.
And so it's kind of critical.
Yeah.
It's part of your strategy going forward.
No, and that's the thing too. Press releases take place over social media nowadays. It's not just something that's emailed out or whatever it might be, but this stuff is actually sent via the Facebook or the Twitter or X, I guess, whatever it might be, page at this point. And that's how you get the information.
It is.
And before we get off of MSU, what should we expect from their football team this year? They had a great year last year.
They did have a great year. I love the philosophy. He's our coach, Ian Shields, is zagging. He definitely has a ground and pound approach.
Throwing like 4 or 5 passes a game kind of thing.
Yeah. If that.
Exactly.
And it's funny because, with the way that he recruits and the way the team is built, they just maul people.
Yeah.
And, even if they don't win the game, the other team is hurting. For sure, because it's been in the trenches and stuff. I don't know what to expect. We have our returning quarterback, Carson Crispin, who's a converted defensive back, and he is a great athlete. We have Evan Lovett back in all conference, a guy that you should keep an eye on. Great runner, had almost 1,000 yards last year. On the defensive side, Kevin Speed was named to the top 100 watch list. He came from Georgia Southern, stud player. We have really great players, and this is his 3rd year with the program. And I'm talking about Coach Shields. I think they're really trending in a great direction. Yeah, just hope everyone comes out and watches.
Exactly. Just the jump from year 1 to year 2 was great to see. Really exciting to see what year 2 or what year 3 looks like from year 2.
Yeah, and they start their season starts with 2 road games. Which the cool part is homecoming, their first home game. Please everyone. I hope
you said, it's 3 weeks out, turnout. Right?
Yeah. September 13th should be a huge game, huge turnout, and hopefully a huge blowout.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
In our favor.
Of course, yes. It has to be for MSU. Roll Beeves.
Roll Beeves.
Before we get off that, I have to share my quick MSU story too. Okay. I applied for and was accepted to MSU after high school, and that fall went to orientation, and that was it. Orientation, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And I went and did like online school for about a half of a semester, and I was like, I think I'm good on this. So I went to, fast forward a little bit, I went to massage school, and here we are. Nice. And then I ended up here. I don't know how it worked out, but
everyone takes their own path.
Exactly.
I was a criminal justice major, and now I'm in marketing.
Exactly.
And everyone takes their own path to where they're happy. You're awesome at what you do now.
I try.
So I think you found.
We have fun with it, so that's all we got to do. Yeah. And that reminded me of another thing I was going to bring up too. When I used to work at the airport, one of the busiest couple days of the season for rental cars, especially for just 1-2 day rentals, was on MSU move-in time. You would see so many families of people coming into the airport, renting a car for about a day, and then flying out with about one person less in their group. Yeah. And it's really fun to see that coming up again this year.
It's so fun. And you can tell the students are nervously crazy excited.
Yeah.
And the parents are nervously crazy scared and sad.
Of course.
And so our
especially for those freshmen that are just coming in.
Yeah. And so I try to remember that when I'm like way too excitedly tomorrow, way too excitedly like handing them a vinyl for their car that's like proud parent of a Minot State Beaver. You know, they're like, I'm not ready to say goodbye.
As they're mildly distressed about what's happening. Yeah.
They're melting down.
Yep. Internally, it's falling apart, but they got to let the kids go at that point.
They do. And I give them props for doing so because
Exactly.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you got a little bit of time, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I still have 10 years.
Exactly. But
it's going by fast.
Time flies, just like, I mean, I got a nephew that's 10 years younger than me, and he's already going in to be a senior this year. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Time's flying, but life is good. So.
It is. You got to have fun with it. You got to live for the moment. And with that, I think we're going to take a quick break before we dive into some City of Minot stuff here.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
In the demanding world of oil and gas, precision, safety, and efficiency are non-negotiable. Unmanned operator drone services revolutionizes how you monitor, inspect, and manage your operations. With cutting-edge technology and expert operators, we deliver real-time data, detailed reports, and actionable insights for our valuable clients. Why risk the safety of your team or waste precious time? Our drones access even the most challenging areas with ease, reducing downtime and enhancing safety across your sites. We take the guesswork out of your projects by offering LiDAR, mapping, and inspection services so that your projects stay safe, on budget, and on time. Unmanned operator drone services, where technology meets safety, precision, and efficiency. Contact us today to elevate your operations. Yes, pun intended.
Enjoy Minot's finest authentic Mexican cuisine with a view at Mi Mexico. The rooftop patio is open and ready for you to enjoy a margarita or other cool refreshment along with genuine mouth-watering Mexican entrees. Mi Mexico, South Broadway.
And we're back. I hit the right buttons. You can still hear us. I'm glad, but also I'm glad Jonathan's going to be back next Tuesday, so I don't have to worry about it. I can just be the pretty face in the corner that yaps about stuff, and he can do all the producing and everything.
That's only fair.
Exactly.
His name's on the door out there. I saw. So.
Exactly. He's got the Star Web marketing up there. I'm just here for the decoded, man. But no, Cole, again, we're back. We're going to dive into some the depths of Minot here a little bit. You follow along with the city council and the city government a little bit. Obviously, that's a big part of what we cover here. And Minot just got done with a pretty intense mayor race for a special election in an off year. Did you follow that very closely?
Oh, yeah. I was locked into your show. How could I not be following?
We try. We have to. Someone's got to be the one that covers that stuff in depth, which, to be fair, a lot of the other news companies did a great job this year. But I want to say we helped in that.
For sure. Hour-long interviews. I mean, we try. Long form with every candidate is not easy.
Oh, and Jonathan does a great job.
Plus the debate or forum or whatever you want to call it. That's a lot of work that goes into that. Where was that?
That was downtown at the Magic
at the
Mouse River Players Club. Yep. Great venue. If you guys haven't ever been there, make sure to check it out. Their fall season's about to start up in a couple weeks here. Nice. And they do great work, and it's a fantastic venue. Nice. We had plug. Exactly. Got to. They hooked us up with the venue, and it was a great location. And I really hope that there's a chance we can maybe do something again like it next year. But see how the cards play over the winter here.
Well, please do. It's important for sure that we have that much attention and exposure for all the candidates. It's a good chance for them, but it's also important for us as citizens to know. I think that's a big reason why the turnout was improved.
Yeah.
Was people didn't just say, I feel pressure to vote. They felt more informed and they felt more passionate to show up and cast their vote.
And that's the thing. And you know, you can argue the merit of it, but I think it has a good value to have the ability in an actual debate setting to have the candidates go back and forth a little bit with each other, especially with the dynamic of our current council now that we've seen really play out over the summer. There's a lot of interesting dynamics that go into it. So you allow them on the debate stage to kind of go back and forth a little bit, and it brings out a little bit of the, those difference in ideas that come to light. And again, maybe it's gone to a point now on council that it's a little further than you'd like it to see, but the contention is real, and I think a good, healthy debate is good to see.
I'm worried it's gone too far.
Yeah, it's starting to get to a point right now where it's.
I'm actually skeptical that they'll be able to find someone they agree to appoint.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Like, and I'll give them credit. They admitted that at the last meeting on Monday that, hey, there's a chance that we're smart enough to see what's going on here. We understand that there might not be a consensus on someone.
Yeah.
So they're leaving open the door for another special election that would take place like a couple first weeks of December, which would be a very interesting voting time in Minot, but it might have to happen.
I'm guessing that it is
The
going
more,
to happen.
the more likely scenario.
I just cannot see right now. It's unfortunately so divided to the point where it's sometimes pretty personal and gross and ugly and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
This Monday especially.
yeah, and it's going to take some really, it's going to take some people to, to find that common ground and to be someone who says, I'm really frustrated. I don't think that this is the right direction, but this is a quality candidate, even if they do vote necessarily against me. And I'm also curious to know there's a couple contentious issues that have been gridlocked, right? Like they're just stuck in this 3-3. Let's keep tabling it until we have a full 7.
You're going to have the liquor license ordinances that are coming up to light again.
Does the daycare
situation come back again?
that come back
yeah,
up?
because that was huge.
Yeah, the budget itself is a gigantic part of this.
Yeah.
And the idea that an appointed member will basically decide all of this is
kinda
why
wild.
it's, in my opinion, unlikely to be agreed upon that because one side is essentially going to have to say, yep, we agree to lose all of this.
Yeah.
And that's
Someone's going to have to take that step back and be, hey, I'm willing to accept a compromise with this person. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if we can fire. Are you looking to apply, Cole?
I am not.
No.
No, thank you. I respect so much. I actually saw a couple names when the I think KX or someone posted the story in the comments because I'm a weirdo like that.
Of course,
you got to read.
Got to follow. Yeah,
I got to be mentally
see what
disturbed.
the discourse is.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people get tagged, and then some people like it. And I was like, I do think they could be good candidates. I hope a lot of quality people step forward. But yeah, I think that it'd be cool if we somehow magically got a very level-headed, centrist, perfect person for the job. It's just, it's really going to be unlikely when these right now the council is just so split.
Yeah,
agree.
you almost have to find someone that has a good relationship with both parties at this point.
I
And I
suppose.
say parties as in groups because this is all nonpartisan, of course. And I think everyone on the council is largely conservative. Just to what degree it splits up a little bit.
I'm also curious to know if, like, when they have their chance to speak at the next meeting, the candidates, assuming they do, because I know I heard Alderwoman Olson mention that she'd like to see that. It'll be interesting to see how forward they are with their questioning. What is your belief on special assessments? What is your belief on the liquor license debate? What is your belief? Like, if they ask those questions up front, it's going to be I mean, I'm assuming they're going to want to know those things because those are coming up.
100%. I'm genuinely curious to see how that plays out because are they going to question them or are they just going to let the candidate come up and read their little self-prepared speech, I guess, for lack of better terms.
Good point.
And it'll almost be like a public appearance discourse where the person comes up, says their say, and then they sit down. Or are they going to actually try to do this like a job interview and question them on some of these specific things? Like, what is your level of depth of knowledge on the budget stuff going on right now? Can you step in right away and with having a couple weeks heads up, jump into this and be able to coherently and effectively get through this situation?
Maybe you need to have a debate for all 30 people that apply at the...
Or if it does go to a special election, maybe we'll have to get something organized at that point.
Yeah.
Never know.
Do you get the sense sometimes though that the negativity that sometimes boils up in these meetings, obviously it's based on passion, right? These council members definitely care.
Yeah.
They love this town. They just have vastly and wildly different beliefs on how things should be done. And at the same time, sometimes this gets all the headlines and this gets all the attention. And we just talked about Citizens Alley. We just talked about this Union Silos project and all the other good things going on. And that sometimes that frustrates me as a Minot citizen because I think there is a large group of us citizens who love it here.
Yeah.
And
I'm still here.
yeah, exactly. And so that's sometimes where I'm struggling with like the message of the status quo has to change and can't just rubber stamp everything. And I'm like, agreed. Like, let's investigate every single thing. Let's make sure we're doing everything the best we can. And at the same time, let's acknowledge that the way it's been has helped get us to a place where we're happy people in this town.
Like our downtown Minot has changed completely and drastically in the last 10, 15 years.
And most of it not by chance.
Yeah.
A lot of it through intentional efforts to help spur that. And so I don't love it when it's just like wasteful. For sure, every organization has areas where it can be more efficient, but I don't like that initial assumption. And obviously, I'm a government employee.
That's
so
fair.
I should probably be careful like that. So I have every incentive to be like, stop cutting from the government. But just my point is like, it's good to, I think, acknowledge and accept that also your town can still be a great place while having room to get better.
Yeah. Like we don't have to raise the taxes, and maybe we can find a way to redistribute some of this stuff a little differently, but also without taking away from the core of what's brought it here.
Absolutely. Because the core is the reason these six council members currently are serving. They love it here.
Yeah.
Just like us.
It's Minot.
And so we can't lose sight of that when we're super engaged in really negative discourse, but it's on them too to also, I think, have a little bit more decorum and
one
not be fake, I guess, but also more respectful.
And one thing you say with that too that I think is kind of interesting is how you see a lot of the animosity, but where it stems from, it feels a lot more personal at times, because you can, and we followed this pretty close over the last year and a half. You can look back at prior meetings and someone will say something that, they follow up a couple meetings later and someone else says it on the flip-flop side and now they're against it, kind of thing. And it's almost like it's just because this person is coming forward with it that we don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
And again, I guess the big one really is this, the public forum for the sales tax change. And you have people saying prior that they want all the public input they can. And now you fast forward to it here. And now it feels like you have people that are shying away from it just because it's coming from a different side. And I think generally, just overall, I don't think it's necessary to have a public forum on just this one, but it's interesting to see the discourse take place because it really feels like it's us against them rather than a unified thing. And it shouldn't be unified. You don't want to see a 7-0 vote every time and see everything just pass regardless.
The rubber stamping.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
But you want to see that healthy debate going back and forth, which it is good to see that difference in opinion and difference in views. But when it takes on the light that it more or less has, that's when it gets a little bit more murky at that point.
For sure. And you nailed it, right? Like that's what I mean by when I say it. It feels like it's gone personal.
Yeah.
Where things that if you just had a transcript and there was no name associated with what was said, I think they're maybe mostly agree. Like that's a great idea. Let's get more input. But again, I understand why I understand why some people are unwilling to budge and stuff.
Yeah.
I would be deeply offended and hurt too if I was disregarded and my personal accomplishments or whatever were being called out. And so I should say that too. Like you asked me, are you looking to apply? No. And a big part of it is because it's not an easy job, and I'm grateful for them to stepping up to serve. And the amount of like, even you on this show, I'm sure sometimes in the comment sections get negative feedback. Imagine what their email inbox looks like. Imagine what their phone calls are like. And even those public appearances sometimes are like, oh, that was not nice, man.
And that's one thing anyone applying has to take into mind. You have to expect getting into a position in politics in general where 30 to 40% of the people, almost regardless of what you do, just aren't going to like you.
Yeah.
That's part of the gig at that point.
And I'm a youngest child.
Me too.
Grew up with sisters. Nice. We get each other.
The babies, yes.
Yeah, the babies. I got to be liked, man.
Exactly.
So politics isn't for me. But yeah, I do respect them. I would just, as a citizen, one thing I want them to try to do going forward, because I know they can, is just treat each other with more respect, more kindness and stuff, because Minot City Council meetings shouldn't be being shared on YouTube constantly just because they're controversial. Or can you believe what this guy said to this guy? We shouldn't be clipping up city council meetings. There's a way to get your point across without being personally offensive. But they're all going to have to work at it. Yeah.
Like, it's good to see more attention being drawn to city council meetings, but maybe not for the reasons that they're being drawn. Whether it be the sometimes wild personal appearances that you'll see come up, or like, I mean, on Monday, some of the back and forth that you see between the council members. And it's again, I want to see as much attention as possible be drawn to the city council. However, for those reasons, it feels like it's a little, I would rather see it for a different reason. And I don't know. I hope they can figure something out going forward here. I'm really interested to see who applies. There's a week from today is the application deadline.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to see in that candidate that applies?
I hope we have a bunch of people who understand, like, your job is not to come immediately take a side of one of these three people. And your role ultimately is to do the best you can with this upcoming budgetary situation. So I would like to see candidates who truly understand how to look into the data that's being presented, who are unafraid to ask the questions, right? Someone's going to apply who doesn't know as much as the other candidates, and that's fine. I want you to be willing to speak up and provide an informed perspective on everything that's going on. I really don't want a boisterous, one-sided political person to step up for this. I want someone who's genuinely caring about, the budget and isn't going to look to feed the fire, I guess, that's burning right now.
That's fair.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
I think a lot of the same. Someone that's willing to take a side when necessary, but also step away from that side when necessary. Someone that hopefully is knowledgeable of the situation. So if you watch our show, I bet you'd be a great candidate. But I would really like to see someone that can come forward and has a depth of knowledge, at least surface level, of everything going on. You know a little bit about the liquor license ordinances. You know a little bit about what's going on in the budget situation. Hopefully you have a little bit of a knowledge about the whole 3% cap that's come down from the state. And I mean, obviously don't expect you to know every single detail about it, but if you have a depth of knowledge to begin with, that's going to help. And like you said, you have to be able to ask the questions in this situation, because you are getting into this with, if it happens now, you're going to have about a 9-10 month term before next spring rolls around and we have the June election. Maybe you choose to run for that. Maybe you don't, because obviously running for something is a whole lot different than applying and being appointed. But if you do, then you have to start, you pretty much get through the budget season and you have to start thinking about that next re-election period already, because you're filling out Janser's seat, and Janser would have came up this coming summer. And I don't know, it's going to be a really interesting thing to see. I might have to skip that football practice to go to that special meeting on September 2nd at 4.
I hope you do. Yeah. It needs to be, we need to understand it really well. We need to see who's all going to make an appearance, who's going to apply, and ultimately it is the council's decision now if they decide to appoint someone to go with the right person. But I do think that there is interest from both sides right now in a level-headed person that will hear both sides out. It's just crazy that we're talking about an appointed person being the clear swing vote.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to determine so many tabled policies.
Yeah. You're going to be the one that gets this budget passed effectively.
This will be the most powerful person right now in Minot.
Which is wild to think.
It's wild, but and again, it's why I'm skeptical, and why I'm guessing we might be
coming to another special election in December.
When
it's snowy and like 10 below outside. Well, it might not be that cold in December yet, but we'll have snow on the ground, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the way it has to go. That's the way it'll have to go. But I mean, the city will get there. I just hope that we do get good quality candidates, because I would understand if good people right now are tentative or hesitant.
And here's
serve.
a great point with that too. I think you're going to get a lot more qualified, high-level candidates in the application process than in the actual running of it. When you're running for it, I mean, I guess there's a possibility you could have 6 people step in to run for this thing, which that would be crazy to see in and of itself. But just from the sheer volume of it, I think you're going to see more people apply than that are willing to actually run for it. Because again, running, you're going to have to take a whole different level into that. So if you're just applying, it's a little bit easier to get into it at that stage. Yeah. And I really just want to see someone come forward that can hopefully negate the potential for that election. Because I would love to see someone that doesn't want to raise taxes anymore, but I also want to see someone that doesn't want to kill everything we have going. Yeah. And I understand, I've seen it, and I can only imagine how difficult of a thing that is to finesse. Yeah. But I really want to see that kind of come to light somehow.
I want to see someone personally too who doesn't just play the game of like, snow removal's bad, taxes high, like the cheap things. Like, who doesn't agree that we would love faster snow removal? Yeah. Who doesn't agree that we would love lower taxes and stuff? But then who can also acknowledge, like, okay, I've dug into this and I've learned, we have great people at the city telling me this is the reality of the situation.
It's not practical to kind of make this change in this case, whatever it might be. Yeah. Like sometimes it's not either worth it, or it's just, if you do make that change, how are you going to bounce back from it? And I really think Blessum made a good point when he was on here on Tuesday. We were talking about some of the things that were going to be cut in that. What you went from the preliminary city manager budget to the city council president's response, and one thing that they took away was an extra $1 million in road construction, which everybody in Minot wants to see Minot have better roads. But I think he made a great point this summer in saying how it kind of feels like we're about maxed out at Minot's infrastructural capacity on for how much construction we can take at one point. And again, it's going to be worth it come this fall and going into winter. We're going to have, it's going to be a better system going on. However, right now, especially, we still have 16th Street closed, which is one of the main operation and thoroughfares to Minot's High in Magic City. And, and stuff happens with construction, of course. You can't ever guarantee dates are going to be done. Obviously, we know that in Minot with flood control too. But you really just want to see someone kind of, maybe they could take a little extra off of that budget too. Like you don't want to see it, go down. I think it's at $11 million again right now for next year. You don't want to see it dip to like 5 or 6, but like it was at 11 this year and 11 next year. I feel like that's about the maximum kind of frame for that to see. So maybe they could trim a little bit more off of that. Yeah.
And I respect that they're looking at things like that, because I think they've all said, like, we don't like looking at people. We don't like looking at positions. And I love and I respect that wholeheartedly. So you need to look at those areas. And at the same time, it's important they keep asking the questions of like, okay, let's say we do trim this. What does that do for the schedule long term? Are we facing an inevitable situation where we have potholes all over the roads because we didn't stay on schedule with some of these repairs? But he's right. I will say, like, that's one of the first, if you're not saying crazy weather today, the next thing you say is roads, or, someone's at work at 8:05. Guess what they're going to tell you? Traffic. Oh, I didn't expect it. There was, construction going on. And I'm sure it's frustrating for the city, right? This is their job. They got to fix this road. They got to get this done. And then there's a water main, all these things. But then you have to go take care of that, and you have to pause on what you're doing, and that takes a whole day or two out of the situation, and then you have to go back, and maybe then you have rain, so now you can't go for another day. And it spirals with that construction kind of thing. And we've had a weird summer too, where we've had a lot of rain, and it makes it more of a mess. But again, these things need to go through and progress. And because again, you go back to that citizen satisfaction survey from like 2 years ago now, and one of the biggest things out of that was the needs for better roads in Minot. And then we see that budget increase going into this year, and now we see the effect of it. Like, A, yeah, we're getting better roads, but B, there's a lot of road construction. Yeah. That's an interesting perspective too, right? You survey the citizens, they give you feedback, you act on the feedback. Now we're frustrated. And that's just probably what you said. A reality of being in the political position is sometimes making that decision isn't easy, but also it'd be worse off to have roads that are deteriorating and now it costs way more to replace them or whatever. So I like that they want to do surveys. I get that it costs money to do surveys. And at the same time, as a public, like, that is the best, most accurate way to get a true representation, a true sample of what people want as the priority. And then at the same time, I hope that our city staff, who are experts in this area, look at it and go, we agree, let's do it. Or, I understand the citizens want that. Now can we help work together to get the word out about why that might not actually be happening? And by the way, Jen Thorgrimson, or Jennifer Clean, she is a stud. That 3rd Street Bridge video, that was amazing. That was so good. And I now understand that better than I ever would have understood that before. We can't take for granted some of the amazing advantages. We almost know too much. We don't. No, I'm not saying that. But that is one thing that I think people have to get a real clear look at, is how good and transparent Minot is, generally speaking. Yes. Like, obviously there's things that you can dig and find that will always have, dirt to be uncovered. But on a general basis, the amount of work you see coming from Jen and T at the PIO roles in the city is phenomenal. And even the council members that are willing to come on our show and talk about stuff, love to see that. And you look at their Facebook pages, and they're more than willing to share their views on there as well. Like, they do a fantastic job, generally speaking, about being open and transparent here. And I really would like to see going forward. I don't want to see less of that by any means. I want to see that to continue. And I really like how North Dakota in general is good with their public open records laws and everything too. And I really want people to understand that we have it very good here in comparison to some other places that make it a lot more difficult for the public to get that information. Yeah. And that's the thing is, we share all this information. I think the new council members have done a good job basically pushing and saying, we deserve an answer on this, right? And sometimes the answer comes and the answer is the answer and you don't like it, but that's the answer. And that's
all we can get at a point.
Yeah. And sometimes we just need to accept that, but that is the benefit of this uncomfortable discourse, though, I guess I have to admit, is questions that normally maybe wouldn't have been asked are being asked.
Yeah.
And then the answers come and I go, now I understand. Okay, that's helpful. I just don't like the perspective of, look under that rock, there's something there. And then you look under it and there's nothing there. And they're like, well, where'd you move it? And it's like, no, there was nothing there, you guys. They're working hard. They're doing a great job. That's it.
And that's an interesting point you make, because I think there's some parallels that maybe I shouldn't even get into this side of it, but that you could see coming up from the county level now with how there's possibly a challenge to our recent mayor election that could be coming forward. And again, I think it's completely likely that, the tabulation machines could have, a couple votes missed here or there. I would be probably shocked if it was a complete 1-for-1 if they did a hand recount. But I also don't think it would be any kind of difference in the hundreds either at that point. I don't think this would come near changing any kind of outcome for how it transpired.
I think the city spoke at the election. I think the results were clear. I think we hand count them. They'll probably be the same thing. I'm going to stay away from that one.
That's fair. I got an interesting question that I was actually able to read here. Why can't the city partner with MSU for surveys?
I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
But I can ask our institutional research person if that's a thing.
If that's even a possibility. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah. So Deanne, thanks for that. That's a great comment. Wouldn't have thought of that myself. And there might be some reasons that they can't partner, or maybe it's something they haven't looked into before.
Maybe. Yeah. But I'll look into it. I'll go from here, and Carrie's one of my good buddies on campus.
There we go.
Works on the 3rd floor. Is probably one of the nicest people I know. So I promise you she'd welcome the question.
There we go. We got Cole on it now, folks. It's going to happen now.
No, it's not. Not saying it. We have me asking the question at least.
The question will be asked. How about that?
Well, by the way, the city is partnering with MSU for this community resource officer thing. It's another good example of, like, I don't know how much MSU want to do, but a couple of years ago we started Hometown Pride. Yeah. Basically, what this whole thing was acknowledge the specialness that is Northwest North Dakota, specifically Minot, and that we've been here since 1913. And one thing I'm really excited about is, after today, we have a pretty good sense of our enrollment. And our ward county numbers are increasing very nicely.
That's great.
And that was the whole point, was to show this area that we value them. We have a great program for many of you, and that this is a place worth staying in once you graduate. Because that's why we're here. As a state university, we're here, we exist. Obviously, we want to, provide opportunities to students throughout the world. But first and foremost, workforce in North Dakota.
Keep North Dakota kids here.
We need to fill those jobs from students who attend Minot State University. That's the whole goal. And so Hometown Pride has really done a good job harnessing that, and our ward county numbers this fall are looking awesome.
That's great to see. I love this, especially I graduated high school about 10 years ago now, and just seeing the sheer amount of people that, it's maybe not a majority, like over 50%, but seeing 1/3 to 40% of the class having either moved out of Minot or out of state, it's you want to see those people stay here. Like, I love Minot. You look at the big perspective of the picture, and you see how many people are moving. The new residents of a city in a state are from either out of state or in state, but they just moved cities. And I was looking at a map of this a couple days ago, and in North Dakota, 45% of the new residents that move in are from out of state. Whether it be, and that counts moving from city to city as well. So people from Minot moving to Fargo, or just people from out of state moving in. I think you see a lot of military people that come to the state, Minot specifically, and they're from bigger places that they've been there, done that. They see Minot and like, this place is fantastic. Why would I want to leave here? And then you see so many of the people from, smaller towns, Minot, wherever it may be, Surrey, and they haven't experienced that larger version of things. And so they want to go out and find that. And they end up moving to the Twin Cities, Fargo, wherever it may be. And they sometimes they love it, they stay there, and other times later in life, they end up moving back.
Yeah. We're not for everybody, right? Like, we don't have every possible career path. And if you want to do something, there's no guarantee you can live here, work here, whatever. But we're a darn good place for a lot of people.
Love Minot.
We love Minot, obviously. I think the people that watch this show clearly love Minot, care about Minot.
And if you don't, thanks for hate watching anyways.
Thanks for hate watching. And I think our role, we understand our role at Minot State is, again, first and foremost, workforce needs in Northwest North Dakota. We want to be the place that you can go and earn the education you need to get that job and fill that workforce need. And that's what we are hoping to really keep solidifying lately. And the community resource officer is a great example of understanding a need locally, understanding a facility locally or Minot State University who can provide a service that's hopefully mutually beneficial for the city, for Minot State University, for the students. And so I hope we can continue to see awesome partnerships like that. And I hope this partnership works really well.
Yeah, I loved that one because Minot has been, for the last probably decade struggling with filling the staffing of the local police department. And I really think this could provide a really good balance and a pipeline for new officers to come in. I really think this could be a good situation coming to light, especially now we have new police chief, Michael Fry is in town. He's getting the ball rolling. He's all over on social media. I love to see that.
Yes.
He's very, have you met him yet?
I've never met him, but I love him.
Very outgoing guy. Yeah. We got to get him on the show here. Haven't reached out yet. We've been a little busy post-election, but we got to get him on here coming up.
He seems like super charismatic and approachable and
very
perfect,
much so.
Right? Like that's community policing 101.
Yep.
Your leader being visible, present, friendly, engaged, all that.
I think that was why he makes a great position at where he's at right now. He was, I think, the furthest departure from where we'd been at, and maybe it won't work out in the long run, but I think at least in the near term that was the best move to make for that.
I think so too. Another great thing for Minot right
exactly
now, right? A lot of good happening.
Yep. Shout out Chief Fry, we love it. But I was going to go with one final thing on a little bit of the city council, and I already asked. Oh yeah, here we go. So if someone coming into the situation and they're trying to determine how they're going to vote on certain things, whether it be based off of their personal opinion and their personal, morals and beliefs, or should they base it more off of what the majority of citizens in Minot want? This is one of those. It's a bigger thing than just a specific issue, but it's a really difficult thing that I think candidates have to think about too.
Well, especially this candidate. This candidate won't be elected by ballot by 2,400 people or whatever.
Most likely not.
Okay, might not, right? If they're appointed,
hopefully
they're
not,
literally
frankly.
decided on by 4 people who were though, and so I don't think that they should be obnoxious and be like 90% of my constituents want this, but I don't believe it, so I'm doing, but there is definitely a margin where if you are chosen to represent, there, in my opinion, you are in a position now where if you're a good, strong servant to the people, you do have access to information that we don't. You do meet with city leaders. You do have a better understanding of this situation from the other council members, and you might have more insight than what, let's say, like 55% of them are aware of. And so, I think in those situations like that, there needs to be not just a vote necessarily against the majority, but informing them why. Come out with a statement and say it. And I think all of these council members are willing to do that.
Yeah.
They seem very forward about why they're deciding what they're doing. In fact, most of them do say this. They put a motion forward, get seconded, and then like, okay, now back to me to explain.
Now this is why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's what I'd like to see too, is if we find the right, if they appoint someone, I really hope it's someone who provides a clear explanation so we understand their perspective on it. Because like you said, there's no way we're going to get consensus, like 100% of people being like, they nailed it.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
That's life. It doesn't work out that way, unfortunately.
Yeah. But if you have someone who gives a fair rationale, fair understanding, explanation as to why they're going to vote a certain way, even if you disagree, hopefully you can accept that. I appreciate that they at least told me why. I don't agree, but at the same time,
I understand where you're coming
exactly.
from.
Yeah. And so that is something that we've benefited from lately. Is there's certainly no secret as to the reasoning behind everyone's votes lately.
Regardless of that discourse you might see, it's always clear where they stand. And I definitely appreciate that from it.
I agree.
Cole?
1 second.
Uh-oh, he's got something.
Gifts. Okay, so you said you attended orientation.
I did.
Well, this is a gift from our alumni office.
Oh, no.
You're always welcome back.
Not the beaver.
Gosh, this would
look. Yeah, you got that. There you go.
I don't know how to do this.
Somewhere in our corner here.
Maybe, yeah. And then Minot State mug. I see you drinking. You always have your energy drinks.
I do.
There.
I'm a big Ghost guy. Well, thank you, Cole. This is fantastic.
A nice polo.
Oh, no.
Imagine this on the sidelines at your games at Surrey.
I know. I feel like that's fantastic. Thank you, Cole.
Absolutely. It's
I
from our
appreciate
alumni.
that. Well, thank you, and thank them as well.
Yes.
We very greatly appreciate it. Do you have any lasting words of wisdom for us here? Anything finally you want to talk about? Before we go here, I'll pull this up.
If I could just say one more shout out to ndunionsilos.com. If you're comfortable donating at all, we'd be very grateful. Either way, we'd love to see everyone that can possibly make it next Friday. Come to Citizens Alley between 7 and 10:30. Free for all ages. Live music, fun going on.
It's going to be a little
sponsored by Town and Country.
If you stop by the Town and Country offices, you can get that scavenger hunt as well.
Thank you.
Yep.
But then last thing, just a thank you to you. Seriously,
Of course.
what you and Jonathan are doing is so important for our city. Having calm, informative, rational discussions. I think the next step is just getting more eyeballs to watch you guys and learn. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you for that, Cole. We appreciate it. We have fun doing it. And as always, thank you for coming on. This was a blast. I had a great time today. I hope you guys watching had a great time. I think we had a great conversation here.
We did.
Well, and with that, again, thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below at the end. We always appreciate, I read them all. I try to at least. If you tag me in it, I'll at least give you a like on it. But again, make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're really close to that mark. That'll be big for us. We can hopefully start doing some other things at that point. But as always, thank you again and have a great rest.